You built your business by being the hardest worker in the room, but if you're still running on hustle, your business isn't a business. It's a prison, and you're working a well-paid 9 to 5 like a true wagey. But have no fear, Daddy Nick is here, and today I am going to show you the 3 phases required in order to finally escape the hustle trap. Now, the first phase is very simple. This is systemization. And this is required before we do anything else. And this can be broken down into 2 more phases. The first section is very simple. We're going to use this circle to show that. The first phase is listing out everything that does not require a human. Now, some of these things may very much surprise you. Sending an email, sending a message, sending invoices, all of these things, to the naked eye, they seem like they require a human. But if we set up the right systems, let's say, for example, we need to email a new client an onboarding document, an invoice, and a link to join our community when they join our company or whatever it is, we can set up a system that is triggered by payment received from client, sends out an email with the required things, sends out the invoice. Once these are done, it will then create a unique invite link. Let's say we run our community for our team on Discord. Create an invite link for Discord here. Send that out to the client. And so these are 4 manual tasks, and they may take 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes max to do this. Maybe writing an email takes 10 minutes. Let's say it takes 12 minutes total. That's fine. We bring on 5 new clients a week, times by 5. That's 60 minutes. 1 hour of saved time. Sure, not a lot. But let's say hypothetically, each sales call to us is worth $10,000 per close. We have a 30% close rate, meaning that for every 10 calls, we close 3 clients. So let's say hypothetically, if we divide this by 30%, we get 3K, which means every single hour we spend on a sales call is worth 3K. And so by buying back 60 minutes of time with a very fucking simple system to eliminate some of this manual work, we're bringing back 3K a week, which is 12K a month. Very simple example with a bunch of very simple tasks. They're very tedious and they don't take a lot of time. But this in and of itself may not make you more money directly, but it buys you back more time to focus on things that do make you money. We're going to get into phase 2 soon. The next circle, so this is things that do not require a human. Some things do require a human. So, do require a human, but they don't require you. And so anything that does need human input, so for example, let's see, editing a video. Sure, there's some AI softwares right now that can be edited by AI, but let's just say, for example, editing a video. We cannot create a system, for the sake of this argument, to edit the video and post it to Instagram, but what we can do is create a really effective delegation system. And I know what you're thinking, oh, no one's gonna do it as good as me, so I don't want to delegate. Limiting belief, and we're gonna get that into phase 2. But more importantly, if we create a really effective delegation system here and an equally as effective SOP system, so we're gonna go delegation and then SOPs, and we link the 2, not only can we now get human required tasks done without our input, we can make sure they're done properly. And these 2 are required for each other to run effectively. So let's say, for example, delegation system, there's a task added to edit the video. We could, number 1, hire an incredibly good editor that just knows what to do, sure, but this may be costly, it's gonna be hard to find. If you lose that editor because they start their own business or whatever, you've got to go through the whole process again, and it's fucking painful, and you may as well just do it yourself. Number 2, we can hire a VA who is somewhat not retarded. Don't hire fully retarded VAs, but if you can find a VA who's somewhat switched on, delegate the task, and then we create an SOP system. And if you don't know what this is, Tyson and I have built this out in great depth for every business we've run, and it changed the way we operated. It's effectively documenting every single task, the reason why we do it, and how to do it perfectly. And so this SOP system, let's take this SOPs for example, to how to edit a video. This needs to have, 1, a Loom video of you actually doing the thing. And I don't just mean editing the video, I'm talking from start to finish. This is how you airdrop the video from your phone to your laptop. This is how you open it in CapCut. This is where you need to clip out the pauses. This is how you add the font. This is the font size. This is the font style. This is the color. This is the timestamp in which this edit needs to be added. Every fucking step that you take to complete this task needs to be documented in this video, like you're explaining it to a 3-year-old retarded penguin. I don't care. And so it needs to have you doing the thing. Next, it needs to have the reason behind why we do it like that. Because people fundamentally understand things and they operate better when they know the reason behind the task. And so me telling you this video here, going through these 3 phases, is designed to, number 1, help you create more leverage inside of your business so you have more time to make more money. And number 2, effectively get you to understand that I'm the best in the game at this, and if you're gonna go to anyone for help, instead of doing it yourself, you're gonna go to me. And so you now understand the motive behind me doing this video. And it allows you to watch it with authentic intentions, right? So we've now got the why. Obviously you need a deadline. This is tied into the actual task itself because Parkinson's law states that a task will expand to fit the time in which it's allocated as opposed to the time it should take. And so if you tell this person that they've got 1 hour to get it done, they're more than likely gonna get it done in 1 hour. If you don't give them a deadline, they're gonna just take as long as they fucking want or as long as they think. So phase 1, we can go on for hours about this and I can do a whole separate series on this, but to simplify it, it's systemization. This is buying back time because without time, we don't have any leverage to focus on phase 2 and 3. This can be broken down into 2 things. Things that do not require a human, which can be systemized through AI. Things like Zapier, Make.com, N8N, all of these things, Monday.com, go high level. And it's as simple as just creating workflows that make sure these manual tasks get done by a robot when required. Setting up triggers, for example, when payment is received, normally we would manually do X, Y, Z, but now we're gonna link to Stripe or Fanbasis or PayPal, and whenever a payment is received, it's gonna trigger this workflow and it's gonna do these tasks automatically instead of you having to do it yourself. Next is things that do require a human but don't require you. And so this is anything that doesn't require your specific expertise. And so these are going to be delegated, but you need an effective SOP system to teach people how to do the task properly. So that's phase 1, systemization, buying back time. And now we're closer to becoming an entrepreneur instead of a wagey. Phase 2, identity. And I'm not talking about the gay side of all of the identity coaching and all that shit. I'm talking about having an identity shift from a hustler to a CEO. I'm the CEO of Systems, an anti-LMFAO community. Now, the reason why this is so important is because if you install these systems into a hustler's business, he is not going to use them. And the reason being, let's draw a big blue cross. He's not going to use them and he's not going to know how to use them. And we did this with Will, and we saw it very, very closely with Will, who is a very good friend of mine and runs a phenomenal business. He was doing $52,000 a month. I believe that's in pounds, either pounds or USD. It's a lot of money. And he built this from the ground up through hustle, grit, and grind. But the thing is, he said to me, I don't want to delegate because no one's going to do it. How do I know it's going to... He literally asked me the question, how do I know it's going to get done? And to Tyson and I, it just seemed obscene because we created the frame inside of our team that if we tell you to do this and we assign it to you in this task system, it's going to get done. But Will had the belief and the identity that was aligned with the fact that shit wouldn't get done even if he told his team to do it. And so this was all about shifting his identity from the man who needs to do everything himself into someone who goes, you know what? I know I cannot do everything I want to be able to do. I need to build a team and I need to create leverage and make sure that I can count on them. And so step 1 was shifting his identity and actually debunking the beliefs he had. So debunk the beliefs he had around delegation and systems, effectively changing the way he thinks around tasks. We needed to stop him thinking, if I don't do it, it won't get done, and make him start thinking, if I need it done, who can I get to do it for me and ensure it will get done? Next was setting the frame with his team. And so I organized a call between him, his new executive assistant, which we placed into his business, and everyone else in his team. The people who ran his ads, his website, absolutely everyone. And he got on this call and he set the frame and he said, look, this is how we're now operating. We're going to be using these 2 systems. When I need you to do something, it's going to be added to the Task Central. There's going to be an SOP on how to do it. If you do not understand, then reach out to Shatsy, who is the executive assistant, which effectively started acting as Will's brain. Will is now being removed from his business and it's running without him. And keep in mind, like all of these people who are playing these roles and doing these things inside of Will's business can be replaced because we've built out SOPs explaining how to do their tasks, which is fantastic leverage. So he set the frame with the team and he said, look, anything that's added to this Task Central needs to be done and it needs to be on time. It needs to be done on time. If it is not done or you have challenges, reach out to Shatsy. Shatsy is the middleman. If she cannot solve a problem on her own, she will go to Will. Will then document the solution to that problem so next time it comes up, she doesn't need to go to him. And so we're effectively, over this time horizon, Will was right here in terms of involvement. We're slowly moving him down here. And eventually we're going to have him separate to his own business, meaning that the business can run independent of his input. And so we debunked his beliefs, we changed the way he thought, and then we set the frame inside of his team. And so now, of course, he's still getting used to it because it's uncomfortable, it's new, it's a new way of operating, but he is now starting to think less like a hustler, more like a CEO. And so as you can see, it's less about working hard and it's more about working like an operator, like a CEO. Phase 3 is now time reallocation. Retard or reallocation? Reallocation. This is moving away from being a retard. And so what we've done is we've freed up time in phase 1. We've systemized shit that doesn't need to be done by Will himself. Phase 2, we've shifted his identity. He now doesn't feel like his business won't run without him. He knows that his business can still run independent of his input, which is a beautiful place to be. But with all this spare time and this new way of thinking, if Will doesn't know what to do with his time, he's going to drive himself fucking crazy. And I've been in that position, as has Tyson, where if everything is done inside of your business by team or systems, and you don't have anything to do, you feel fucking useless. And like I said, I've been there as a topic for a separate video, and it's not a very nice place to be. So we need to reallocate time. But we cannot do this until these 2 phases are complete. And so this is where we start optimizing things. And so we've also set up a separate system in Will's business, which, I'm just going to scribble some fucking lines, tracks his metrics. Every single metric is linked to a specific part of his business. His close rate is linked to his sales. His cost per lead is linked to his ad creatives. Terrible writing. His lead to call conversion rate is linked to his appointment setter. So now we've got time. Everything's running inside of the business. The maintenance tasks are taken care of, meaning his business now runs, but we're not growing revenue, which is why we need to reallocate time to optimization tactics. And so every single metric is going to point directly to a specific part of his business. We know that if his close rate is well below the required benchmark, say the benchmark is 45%, if it's sitting at 20%, we know to increase revenue, we need to focus on his sales process, training his closing team, working on his frameworks. We know that if his cost per lead is 4 times the amount that it should be, the benchmark, we need to optimize his ad creatives, his ad targeting, and his ad copy. We know that if not enough of his leads are being converted into book calls, his setter is a fucking peasant, or his setting process needs to be improved. And so now we have time, we've got systems, we've got the right identity. These are all ticked off. We've now got so much time that we need to reallocate, and we can reallocate it strategically, not blind. We are operating from a metric tracking system which is going to pinpoint exactly where the leaks in the funnel are, where this time can be reallocated to, and of course, we use strategy to improvise or improve on wherever the bottlenecks are, whether it be sales, ad creatives, setting, nurture sequences, offer refinement, all of these things. So these are the 3 phases: freeing up time through systems, getting clear on what that's going to look like, shifting identity from a hustler to a CEO, because hard work will get you to 10K, but it won't get you to 100, and then reallocating time to high leverage things. And so if this hit home and you are stuck inside of this hustler trap, I'm not going to ask you to DM me. I'm not going to ask you to book a call. Click below and follow the channel, because the only way to break free from the hustler trap is to understand the systematic and identity shift required in order to scale.